Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. I am Vishakha Thakur.
And I am Ruchi Sharma. We have got all the major global cryptocurrency news from the past week for you in this show. But before we start, let's cut across to Manoj Dhara for the market check.
So Bitcoin is currently trading close to around $1,03,000 mark, a modest gains of 1.4%. The uptick is largely driven by the growing expectations of a US interest rate cut and a fresh wave of institutional buying. That's what the analysts have said. On the institutional front, Abu Dhabi's Sovereign Wealth Fund has revealed a significant exposure to the Bitcoin in Q1 via the BlackRock iShares Trust. According to a Form 13F filing with the US SEC, Mubadala holds 8.73 million IBIT shares valued at $408 million as of March 31st. In the ETF space, spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded a net inflows of $114.9 million on May 15, while the spot Ethereum witnessed an outflow of around $40 million. Speaking about Ethereum, the second largest crypto was trading close to around $2,600, up 2.7%, and the global crypto market cap was hovering close to around $3.36 trillion with a 1% surge in today's trade.
Thanks, Manoj. Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin brain behind Strategy's BTC plan, announced that the Nasdaq-listed firm spent $1.34 billion to acquire 13,390 Bitcoin at an average price of $99,856 per Bitcoin between May 5 and May 11.
Strategy now holds a total of 568,840 BTC worth over $59 billion, bought at an average price of $69,287 per Bitcoin for a total cost of around $39.4 billion, including fees and expenses. That's the equivalent of more than 2.7% of Bitcoin's total 21 million supply and implies around $20 billion of paper gains.
Moving on, Japanese investment firm Metaplanet has added another $129 million to its Bitcoin treasury, pushing its total holdings past the Bitcoin stacking country of El Salvador.
On May 12th, the Tokyo-listed firm announced that it had acquired 1,241 Bitcoins for $101,843 per coin.
Now, this brings the firm's total holdings to 6,796 Bitcoin, currently worth around $707 million, and the average purchase price is $91,000 per Bitcoin.
Well, El Salvador is the sixth largest nation-state holder of the asset with 6,714 Bitcoin worth around $642 million according to the National Bitcoin Office.
Moving on May 13, the healthcare company provided an update on its Bitcoin holdings and other key performance indicators, reporting that it currently holds 3,808 Bitcoin and has a Bitcoin yield of 22% year-to-date.
Well, Semler added 894 Bitcoins in Q1 worth around $91 million and 616 more by May 12th worth almost $60 million.
So the firm began its BTC acquisition strategy in May 2024. Its most recent purchase was on May 12th when it bought 174 Bitcoin. Also, its average acquisition price is $89,277 per Bitcoin.
However, its revenue figures were not as pretty, with $8.8 million in revenue reported, representing a 44% decrease year over year. Semler reported a net loss of $64.7 million or $6.74 per share compared to a $6.1 million profit in Q1 2024.
Moving on, in a filing with the US SEC on May 13, Cantor Equity Partners revealed that Tether bought 4,812 Bitcoin for a total of $458.7 million and an average price of $95,320 per Bitcoin.
The purchase was on behalf of Jack Mallers' recently launched Bitcoin treasury company, 21 Capital.
21 Capital, announced in April, is being formed through a collaboration between Tether, Bitfinex, Cantor Fitzgerald, and SoftBank Group, with plans to launch via a special purpose acquisition company merger with Cantor Equity Partners. Once completed, the company will trade on Nasdaq under the ticker XXI.
Also, 21 Capital plans to launch with a substantial treasury of more than 42,000 BTC worth approximately $4.4 billion. Tether and Bitfinex will be the majority owners, with SoftBank holding a minority stake.
Moving on, Binance coin BNB is drawing institutional attention, with Standard Chartered forecasting it could hit $2,775 by end 2028, over 4x its current $600 price.
Jeffrey Kenrick, head of digital asset research at the bank, says BNB's price pattern since May 2021 mirrors a blend of Bitcoin and Ethereum, making it a strong crypto market proxy. The bank expects BNB's trajectory to stay stable, tied to Binance's dominance.
Now, in a major move, VanEck has filed for the first US spot BNB ETF, which would hold actual BNB tokens and potentially include staking to generate yield. If approved, it would offer regulated US exposure to BNB's performance.
Moving on, Coinbase Global will become the first ever crypto company to be included in the benchmark index next week. The San Francisco-based crypto exchange will replace Discover Financial Services in the S&P 500 on May 19, according to the release.
Coinbase, the first major crypto company to go public in 2021, managed to report a profit for the last quarter, which is a requirement for inclusion in the S&P 500.
Coinbase shares surged 11% after hours on May 12th, nearing $230 per Google Finance. Despite the spike, shares are down 41% in 2025 amid market turmoil from Trump-era trade tariffs.
Moving on, almost 2 months after Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse announced that US SEC had abandoned its appeal against the company, the two parties have agreed to a $50 million settlement, signaling the end to their multi-year legal standoff.
The agreement submitted to the court on May 8th represents a decisive resolution to a case that has loomed over Ripple and the broader crypto sector for years.
So the deal also ensures that the regulatory agency and the payments company will drop their respective appeals, with the former abandoning its challenge and the latter withdrawing its cross-appeal.
Moving on, Conor McGregor, the 36-year-old UFC legend with 22 wins and 6 losses, has urged the Irish government to create a national Bitcoin strategic reserve to put the power of money back in the hands of the people.
So the former UFC champion announced his independent candidacy for president in March. He also shared the Bitcoin proposal in a post on X, linking to crypto's core values of decentralization and empowerment.
The UFC fighter, who is also an Irish national, has urged Max Keiser and El Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele to organize a meeting that could give Ireland a taste of Bitcoin.
So the meeting's agenda includes the need for Ireland to allocate money to Bitcoin. According to Max Keiser, Ireland, which is developing a sovereign wealth fund estimated at around $114 billion, should put all its money into Bitcoin.
Well, that's all in this episode of the Weekly Wrap. This is Murchi Sharma signing off.
And this is me, Vishakha Thakur, signing off. For more such updates, do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do log on to our website www.3versetv.io or scan the QR code.